Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. What's going on? It's your man Rico. I'm Rico the Opinionist. Hmm. I'm not new to YouTube. I'm just barely on here, and I think I'm going to try to increase that. Since I've been on since I think 2012 or 14 on because there's another channel on here, but I've been on YouTube since about 2012. Off and on. I'll say something, I'll put a video up, and then I'll move on, but never just consistent with it. That's probably why a lot of you haven't heard of me yet. But I try when there's something that I really want to talk about, I'll come on. And so there's a lot of things been going on uh, in the news, and on my channel, I just share opinions. I share thoughts and perspectives. That's why I refer to myself as an opinionist, and that's what I am. I have something to say about everything. So recently, just to get to it, let me grab something real quick. Yo, what's up, Tino? Grab something real quick. What's up, Tino? So, um, and I'm going to give my little spiel first, and then I'm going to invite you to hit the link to call in. And so that's the way I work. I just give my thoughts, and I'm going to hear what you have to say. So I want to get right to it. Those of you who've been living under a rock, you know that there's this firestorm, this we've got this firestorm that's brewing that has been brewing. Uh, it's by the name of Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown right off the bat. What's up, brother? Shout out to Kwame Brown. And and on my channel, I tend to take my time and I want to explain certain things because I am an Aquarius as well, right? And I tend to see things a little differently than others. Well, we all believe we see things differently, but I just want to go here or go there as relates to this firestorm, this forest fire, this this meteor that's been referred to as Kwame Brown. And there are people who who are all into sports. I'm not into sports like that. So people are coming from a perspective that that is sports related. Kwame Brown came to be because of comments made about him that were, I guess, sports related and 20 years in the making. And if you've been like me, you've been checking out all of this brother's live streams and his Instagram and YouTube, and he's just in a matter of a couple of days, he's gone up to got like 50,000 new subscribers, and the views are just off the charts. Because I've been watching, checking him out. I think it's last year or when he time sort of what's going on now. Okay, now he wants to. And so I first heard about him and learned and caught a glimpse of no, he was on there for like a couple hours on Tommy's show and realized he had some views and were in line with my own as a black man, and I consider myself an independent with a conservative twist. And when you hear someone who's making sense, you kind of stick around and see what else they have to say, right? And so he went on to Instagram, and in his Instagram, he was saying some of the same stuff and speaking the truth. He had opinions, political opinions, social opinions, or thoughts and perspectives. And I noticed that he had some people to come in, but they were not coming in the way they're coming in now. But having said you know, Kwame Brown, for those of you who are sports fanatics, know that he's an NBA player, retired NBA player, and he was recruited or drafted when he's like 17 years old, right out of high school. And he was recruited, and more I learned about it, so I hope I'm telling this correctly. He was recruited by the Washington Wizards, and Michael Jordan at the time in 2001 was like a part owner, but he was also playing. And Michael Jordan handpicked the brother, and 12 years later, 12 years in the league later, here he is. but people were putting him down or trying to minimize his efforts in the league by saying he was a bust. Like he was supposed to come out on a team that was. If y'all remember the Washington Wizards, it was kind of a new franchise that was bought, and Michael Jordan tried to use his star power because he had kind of passed his prime. He had already left the Bulls, and he was still playing really well, for Michael Jordan in 2001, but he wasn't Mike of like 92, 93, 94. He wasn't that Michael, killing the game. But he was like a 30-something going to almost 40-some-year-old Mike. TD, what's up, my man? And so, but he was still good. And but he, from what I understand, what people are telling me, that Michael Jordan has this real kind of hard way in which he tries to groom the players and try to motivate them. And the Washington Wizards had a lot of older players. And listening to Kwame, it makes a lot of sense. You're going to bring a young guy in, #1 draft pick. You're going to put it with a bunch of fossils who are barely playing. But then you're going to say, and then number two, what Kwame was saying, that the coach barely gave him playing time. As a new recruit, as a #1 draft pick, you let all these old dinosaurs play, and then it ultimately made Kwame look bad. And so the sports reporters kind of went at him and said he was a bust. But how are you a bust and you played 20 years of multiple $1 million contracts over 12 years? And so let's not fall for that. And I think based on Kwame finally speaking out with the Steven Jackson and the Matt Barnes and the Stephen A. Smith and the Jamel Hills, and now Skip Bayless got this smoke. Ow, I love it. And others who've been coming for him for 20 years, Stephen A. Smith, and then most recently those who try to come in and chime in. Y'all don't want this, man. You don't want it, because Kwame is unleashed. He sat back for years and just listened to the bullshit. Now he is speaking out. But one thing about it, and the reason I decided to go live on YouTube, Kwame Brown has taken the conversation well beyond sports, because he's pointing out some things that we're not really paying attention to. And I hope people are not just going on his live just to hear him roast people. I hope we as particularly black men, are listening to the words that he's saying, because this is not going to go on that long. It's not, whenever a messenger is sent, they don't stay 10, 15 years. They say for a spell, just to drop the knowledge off and we move on. See, I don't want us to get caught up and thinking everything is so funny, man. He killing them, which he is. And look at it, just entertainment. The man is dropping jewels. I just finished watching his 42-minute video and it's entitled, "It's Okay Just to Be a Man." See, he's bringing attention to things that your favorite celebrity, that your favorite rap artist, your favorite movie star, your favorite sports personality or sports figure refuses to talk about out loud. He's talking about the plight and the constant attacks on black boys and black men. And I was so happy that he went there, because what he has done and what Kwame Brown is doing is actually waking up a segment of black men that other men could not reach. And that's a nod to the Black Manosphere. That's a nod to Minister Farrakhan. That's a nod to Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. See, every person that comes out and talks to us comes from a perspective that reaches another part of the masses that the so-called popular speakers weren't able to reach. So he's reaching those who are in love with sports. And we have a lot of black men whose whole lives, their attitude, their dignity, their respect, their mental everything, their manhood is wrapped around a football and a basketball. And he's been exposing those people in his chat. Yeah, I've been checking them out. Man, if you had all this energy, you should have used some of this energy on the court. See, that's those detractors. They're just like the very people who don't like to hear the truth. They're like, a system that's been running really well until someone throws, as they say, a monkey wrench into the system and cause it to start running bad and cause the motor to start messing up. Kwame Brown has been, for lack of better words, he's become like the monkey wrench into this system that promotes or creates these puppets out here. and he's speaking English very well. He's articulating his points very well. So instead of those of us who will purposefully try to see the entertainment in what he's saying and not really learn from what he's saying, because you know what? That means when you know better, you have to do better. So it's a lot of punk ass dudes out there. No, other than Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, and all those. I'm talking about the mealy mouth minions who rather try to talk about his athletic ability, which there's no need to question it. The dude's obviously awesome. But they'd rather concentrate on that because people are afraid out here to be real, to be a man. And Kwame is challenging black men, you sports loving busters out there, to be men. See, our manhood is not shaped by sports. It's something within us that the system constantly tries to attack. That's why on the other end, you have Kevin Samuel talking to a group of black women that Minister Farrakhan couldn't reach, that Derrick Jackson couldn't reach, that who else, that Dr. Umar Johnson couldn't reach, the educated PhD sisters who have these huge platforms, who believe that they were just the creme de la creme because they make $80,000. And he's let them know, no. And told a lot of them, you're average at best. Shout out to Kevin Samuel. Thomas Sotomayor, another one. You have men have spoken, but they have not been able to reach everybody. So Kwame Brown is reaching a sector of black men. There's so many who love sports. And what he is doing is planting the seed of stop pushing your boys towards sports as if all they know how to do is dribble and dunk and run and catch. Because if you listen to that 42-minute video of it's okay just to be a man, man, I'm telling you, as church folks say, you will be blessed. Because he's saying stuff that a lot of us as regular guys have said, in our barbershops or on the phone with each other, but he's saying it on his platform. He's using his star power, something that can actually reach the people. And that's what he's doing, reaching us. See, there's the reason, a la Kwame Brown, that a lot of the celebrities and entertainers don't say certain things, because he also mentioned there's something we all know. If we don't know, I don't know where the hell we've been, that our entertainers, movie stars, rappers, actors, actresses, and all these folks, news correspondents, all these people are controlled by a system. They have these huge platforms to attract millions of people, but they don't tell the people shit. See, that is what makes Kwame Brown a threat. And that's why you hear brothers, black men say we must protect this brother. And that's the truth. And I'm not saying with memes, literally, physically, protect this brother. We have to stop when we have a black man standing up for what is right, and he's telling the truth without stuttering. We have to recognize, when we recognize it, let's protect these brothers. And I wish more celebrities with these multi-million-dollar platforms to just stop playing games and tell the truth. That's what Kwame is doing. That's what he's doing. Y'all wondering why he's so popular, what is happening? How did he get that damn rocket packet on his back and he's shooting up to orbit? Because he has the platform, he has the name that they try to diminish. He's using his name publicly now, because he's been doing it in private based on what his reports. He's been helping out in the community all the time, but they won't report on that. Number two, this mainstream media that's been controlling everything will see YouTube and the internet is causing that to crumble. Because one thing I really appreciate about YouTube and Instagram and this social media and the internet is black men finally have a place where we can speak our damn mind. You can't cancel us. You can't cancel Kwame. You can't cancel Kevin Samuels. You can't cancel these men. You can't cancel the Black Manosphere. I'm gonna do a separate video on that, as well as a separate video on Kevin Samuels. You see, these are forces that really need to be reckoned with. Kwame Brown is a force to be reckoned with. And black men, Let's get on board. Because it's all about us. And we're always talking about, well, God's going to send a messenger. He sent the messenger. We sit around and let other people, we let the minions of the system get in our ear. We let our women who are mad about what these guys say in our ear. And we sit there and allow these messengers fade away with their message. And that's stupid. Because if you're a black man and you don't understand that you are the threat, goddammit, not the women, not gay men, not women of any race, not effeminate and fruity guys. The threat is the masculine, free-thinking, independent-minded black male. And why do you think they spend millions of dollars on school systems where they know they're miseducated and mistreating black boys? Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu wrote about this endlessly. We didn't read the books. We didn't pay attention. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing talked about the emasculation of the black male for 40 years. But she couldn't reach the crux of all the black men. She was able to reach the ones who were willing to listen, willing to hear, and willing to take heed. Dr. Amos Wilson wrote plenty of books about the psychological trauma of black boys and how they try to paint black men as violent, and the psychological impact of white supremacy, racism on the mind of black people. Spent his life. Dr. John Henry Clark continued to tell us until his last days, we have no friends. So why are we listening to the scholars? That's okay. Here comes Kwame Brown. No, he doesn't have a PhD. He doesn't have any real research articles in your best journals. He's a brother who's lived and he understands. As they call it, the quiet giant, the sleeping giant has been awakened. And what they're hating on is Kwame Brown is awakening the sleeping giant in black men and black boys. Because if we don't understand that in order for our community, the black community, to survive, we have to nurture and protect and mentor and encourage black boys. How the hell you think our race is going to continue and our boys are unassured, emasculated, fruity as shit? No wannabe girls because they've been literally punked out of being boys. A lot of us are standing around because it's not your son. But all of those boys are ours because we're going to be 75 years old one day. And these boys that we're ignoring and allowing the rappers to talk to them, the sports analysts to talk to them, television to talk to them. Who else? Some of these weird R&B singers. We let everybody else talk to them except for those of us who have our own minds. And you know, people like Kwame, people like Kevin, people like Tommy and others of the black manosphere, the manosphere will not be put on mainstream television. Y'all know this. So that's where YouTube comes in. And we just let people know, hey, we're here. And if you want to hear the real, come on, log on and listen. And after tonight, I'm dedicating myself to put more of my content on here because we all have something to say. And we all have the potential to get bigger in subscribers and listeners, supporters. You understand? Okay, Tino, I got you. Cool. And so we all have that potential. So Kwame is not really some enigma. He's not really an anomaly. He is right here among us. Let me tell y'all something. Folks who like to talk about church and all this stuff and all of this stuff. Let me use some of your stuff. When God chooses a messenger and a Messiah, he doesn't go to the suburbs. He chooses from among the least of thee, those who you don't expect to have that kind of wisdom. And boom, they picked a retired athlete. I mean, he picked, the Most High picked a retired athlete. And the motivation that has been written down is, look, I'm tired of these folks talking about me. That was his motivation to get him to talk about, defending himself against what he says is, and what he knows, what we all know, is an attack on his person for years. He's just over it. He's just over it. And he's come out and he's letting it be known. No, y'all not gonna say this. He has his own brand. He got his t-shirts. The people are inquiring about his t-shirts. He has his own brand called My Mama's Cooking. He's doing it. And that's something for all of us as black men. Not only now, just talk about it on YouTube. We have to get into in the community now and talk about it. We have to get out in the community and really physically get these black boys. I know people say we have mentoring programs, we have basketball camps and football camps. Damn all that. They need to be taught things so their mind can become analytical and critical in its functioning. This young brother who's out there now, King Randall, X for Boys nonprofit. He's talking about the very numbers that are out there for all of us to check out. So a lot of these boys that he's been mentoring, he's 21. He's been mentoring and having them in his home for summer camps since he's 19 years old. So they don't know how to read. And we know the public school system sucks. We know a lot of black boys are dropping out. Dr. Jawaza Kunjufu, he wrote the book Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. He talked about around the ages between 6th and 8th grade, a lot of boys started losing interest in school. Y'all think that's y'all don't think that's on purpose? Because if you take boys out of school, take boys out of education and put them on medication, well, now you have your prisoner pipeline thing. You put them in special education. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. See, we have the scholars out here, but we're not paying attention. It's a shame that we have to be brought on with some foolishness. Stuff that, the stuff that I guess it kind of serves, fulfills a particular appetite in us. The messy gene. Kwame is letting them have it. But he's teaching at the same time. Because when he gets done talking about Stephen A. Smith's inability his lack of sports acumen, how sorry he is in sports. He gets to talking about Becky with the good hair and Steven Jackson, grown ass man smoking blunts, pants sagging with holes in his knees. Shout out, that's crazy. Tell the truth to these grown ass dudes. When they get done with that, listen to what the guy's saying, because every video he's shooting now, gems. He's dropping gems. It's the same stuff that our scholars, our African-centered scholars, work tirelessly to do the research on, to talk about. Kwame is just shooting it out there for this generation of listeners. Then you have those folks that say, well, I'm tired of politics in sports. Well, it needs to be a blend of both, but not in the way in which Black Lives Matter is doing it, because we know that's an agenda all in itself. What Kwame is spitting is knowledge that'll help you grow. Let me tell you something. You won't even think the same. You won't behave the same once you get through listening to this cat. Because he's not going to go on forever. He's not going to go on probably another 3 months. But because he came just like people say that Jesus is going to come. We don't expect him. He's going to come like a thief in the night when you least expect him. That's how Kwame hit. Boom. That's how Kevin Samuels hit. Boom. Just like that. You weren't expecting that, and you don't know what to do with it, so you start attacking. But Kwame's been holding his own really well. And he has a lot of people like, damn, this dude's speaking the truth. Call him the GOAT. Yeah, he's been speaking the truth. So those of you who are hearing the truth, goddamn it, take it, take notes, and spread it. If you want to know how he got that smart, it's called reading books. It's talking about dissecting white supremacy in a way in which we can understand it. A lot of everybody's going to listen to Mr. Farrakhan. A lot of people are not going to go back and listen to old Malcolm X and Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Even who our elders still alive with us, Dr. Claude Anderson, been saying this stuff. But it doesn't matter who the messenger is, as long as the message continues to get out on every level. And Kwame's brought it to another level, where today's modern sports lovers can hear him. And so that's why I'm saying I'm down with Kwame Brown. Understand what he's doing. The haters can just shut up, because one thing about those who hate no dudes that's telling the truth, you got a lot of us that say, man, sit your ass down. You have no power here. You can't put out enough videos that we're going to come in and chat that shit down. Cancel it. No, you can get out of here with that. Because black men are finally waking up and we're tired. Younger guys, I'm talking about in their teens and 20s and 30s. I'm 52. I was with the consciousness, not woke, but consciousness in the early 90s. This woke stuff is some BS that just popped off, y'all, because Donald Trump won presidency. So you know who's controlling that. The liberal left Democrats and LGBT. Woke. So they're funding these black folks who have not read the books of the scholars, just giving them what's called racial talking points. See, those of us from the 90s, we read the books. We met the authors of the books. We had conversations with the scholars. These folks today, they don't know shit about content. They're just like, whoa. You know, and it's all, and all of it today has an LGBT slant to it. It doesn't have a black man slant to it, or black family slant to it. All this wokeness, it has an LGBT slant to it. The agenda is ongoing. And so, thanks to people like Tommy, Kevin, and the Black Manosphere, Minister Jap, and Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, the Green Gorilla, the PhD with the PhD, Dr. Ronald Neal, Dr. Tommy J. Curry. You know, these brothers out here saying Ron Willis, Obsidian Radio, O'Shea Duke Jackson. So these folks are talking mediocre tutorials and reviews. That brother. Poor Man's Podcast, Alpha Male Strategies. You know, they're out here. These brothers are talking. And it's more of us out here. Dennis Sperling, we're out here talking. And black men are listening. Kwame Brown has made it to the front of the pack. And he's dropping it. All because somebody decided to get him and shake him and wake him up. He was just trying to sleep and not be bothered by these folks. But y'all kept on messing with that dude. Now deal with it. Now you want to send cease and desist orders and all that, whatever the law, paperwork to try to get him to stop talking. No, you can't. But once we start, you can't make them stop talking. And so black men, we need to gravitate towards the area that is for us. And I'm glad Kwame is bringing more brothers and more sisters to Instagram and Facebook. Instagram and YouTube to have these conversations, because it's about really bridging the gap, bringing black men and black women together, bringing the family together. And somebody doesn't want to see this happen. Isn't that the strangest thing? Like they want to keep us separated. And unfortunately, a lot of us are participating in the separation. But the brothers in the Black Manosphere are teaching black men, no, that's not how it's supposed to go. Kwame Brown is teaching those sports fanatic black men and black boys, your worth is way bigger than dribbling a basketball, running a football, making a tackle. You're bigger than that. And so that's why I appreciate him. Shout out to you, Kwame. I'm down with Kwame Brown. And most importantly, what it's doing, what those guys, including what Kwame Brown is doing, has inspired me to continue to, again, do my YouTube channel and put on my newsletters. And if you like a copy, so I've written a whole lot of topics. They just sit here in my folder here. I'm going to show y'all something. See this right here. This is my newsletter right here. I just write them down. I have a whole folder filled of, here you go, in my opinion, by the Rico the Opinionist. And I have a lot of them that I've done, some old ones, kind of new ones. If you like a copy of it or like a subscription, go into the subscription box. Hit me on the Cash App, y'all. Fool with me if you're cool with me. If you like a copy of one of them, it's just Cash App me $5. I'll email it to you. If you want a copy of it. If you want a subscription, I can even get you a subscription. But anyway, I want to talk to you. If anybody here wants to talk, I want to hear your thoughts on the Kwame Brown situation. I'm going to post the link here. And here it is. Hold on a minute. Bam. The link is in the chat right now. And if you'd like to talk, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Come on in. I'm going to paste it twice. If you can see it, if you'd like to talk, the link is there in the chat. So come on in. But anyway, There are two more Kwame's videos I need to check out, and there's only a few people that I follow and that I really listen to their stuff. But this, and I'm listening to this because each one of them has something in it that I can even learn from, or it reminds me of like, damn, I remember this. I remember this going on. Yeah, this is something that needs to be taught. See, we have to constantly be taught over and over again, kind of like the same stuff, but it doesn't matter because each messenger has a dynamic about him that that allows the message to go even further. So let's see who do I have here. And again, the link is in the chat. If you'd like to talk to me, go ahead. And can you hear me?
Yo.
Hey, what's good, Tino?
What's going on?
We're talking about Kwame Brown, man. So what do you think about what's been going on? Take your time. I want to hear it.
I'm loving it. Of course, I can relate to everything with Kwame Brown coming in initially. Being the butt of people's jokes, people making fun of him and his career. And one valid point that I always make is to be a bust means that you don't make it or you're not successful in the NBA or in the NFL or whatever sport it may be. And for a man to be 18 years old, get his mother a house on the golf course, 12 years in the league, over $65 million made. As I was saying with my lady, if that's a bust, then I'd be a bust man because because it seems like he still won, and it looks like he made great investments with his money. Yeah. For 20 years, Kwame Brown was quiet, didn't say anything, and then these other guys want to get on use their platform to make fun of him. Yeah. Now, what I've noticed as of the last couple of days is that they have been making jokes about Kwame Brown. I mean, that wasn't the first. I guess that was just the camel that broke. I mean, the straw that broke the camel's back, because Stephen A. Smith had an actual argument with Jalen Rose. Kwame Brown just made a video thanking Jalen Rose for sticking up for him, because Stephen A. Smith went on a whole 30-minute rant about how he was a bust and how he's not good and how he was trash. And Jalen Rose was like, look, man, everybody has their own position to play. You know, he was saying, if you're trying to compare Kwame Brown to Shaquille O'Neal, then I guess he is a bust, because he wouldn't mount up to Shaquille O'Neal's talent, but he still played his position. Kwame Brown also won a championship. Yeah. You know, so again, I agree with him. Of course, as a man who's gone through all types of controversy and people playing with my name and thinking it's okay, and I got to check him. I'm with Kwame Brown all the way. And as you stated, I think that with him saying what he's saying, yeah, he is going in. Yeah, he's dragging the hell out of them, but he's also dropping gems. He's giving people information that is useful, things that we can. And a lot of people are waking up. I mean, with me, I go to the videos and I instantly go to the comments. And when I go to the comments, I'm reading and a lot of people, just like myself, protect this man at all costs. This is refreshing. We actually needed this go around. We needed it. I'm with him all the way, man. And he ain't saying, even though he's mad and upset, he's not lied. He hasn't lied yet. I mean, there are videos of the things that he's talking about and the feelings that he's expressing, where he is showing that everything is factual coming from him. I'm with it, man. That's all the smoke. That's all the smoke. You know,
what do you think? What do you think about his comment? He made. I'll just say he stated that, look, all y'all do is attack black men on y'all platforms. When you heard that, how did that hit you?
I think he was accurate. As you stated, I think a lot of people look at the media. The media is a powerful thing, especially if it's media full of superstars or athletes, actresses, actors. And one common thing that is shown, let's say if someone dies in the streets, George Floyd, for instance, the first thing the media does is try to justify the death by saying, well, hey, he went to jail last week. He is a felon. So, as if to excuse the action. And I think that Kwame Brown, like many of us who don't have the platform, is like, no, y'all bullshitting. This doesn't make sense. The first thing you do is try to say what negative impact that this black man did, or something that he did 10, 15 years ago.
Yes.
And they try to make that relevant to a crime that was committed against that black man.
Right.
I think what Charlamagne the God did was cowardly for him to say, "Hey, man, Kwame Brown's dad killed a woman, and you know his brother went to jail, so y'all better leave him alone." Well, whatever the hell my daddy did or my brother did has nothing to do with me.
Right, and all the
that
smart
has nothing
people,
to do with me.
All the smart people call on to that. And what Charlamagne the God did, and what Jamel Hill attempted to do was it's called propagandize Kwame, paint a narrative. And that is something that black men have. That's been done to black men since the movie of Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
The reason Birth of a Nation was created back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, about the Klan, where they put out the the misnomer that black men were a bunch of sexual deviants going around raping white women, and you have to be careful. And so in the whole movie, they go around, got black men eating watermelon and acting lazy in the movie. Oh, they did the fool with that movie, Birth of a Nation, the original one from the
original one before Nate Parker did it. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's where he got the name from. That's where he got the name from. So go look up the actual original movie. They got black men in there, hunting them down and hanging them, saying they were trying to rape white women. And they got black men, I think, sitting in the Senate or the Congress eating watermelon, and they were shiftless, lazy, good for nothing, sexual deviants.
Wow.
So painting this narrative about black men and black boys is nothing new.
Right.
Hence why they try to justify the murder of black men. What Candace Owens attempted to do with George Floyd when he passed away, when they go down someone's criminal record. And what he mentioned was no one is hardly mentioning Wheeler. What's the white boy first name? Wheeler, who beat up the black chick.
In Texas or no?
No, the one who the white guy that just beat up the black chick. The football player, when she came to, he said, "Damn, I thought you were dead."
Oh, you're not dead yet. That's the guy from the Seattle Seahawks. I forget his name.
Yeah. But they have yet to paint white men as being sociopathic.
Well, they're saying he had mental issues. He had,
and they said mental issues and moved on.
Yep.
And so that's the stuff. See, that's what critical and analytical thinking does. It causes you to see this peep game and call it out. A lot of us peep game, but we don't call it out publicly. That's why I appreciate his platform. Chad Wheeler, thank you. That's why I appreciate him being a celebrity, speaking the way he does, because it's a lot of people, they peep it, but you know, they say it in a chat room on somebody's post, well, it's not going to be lifted or anything. It takes people who've been given this power to be a celebrity to turn it on against them. To turn it against the system, and they're not going to do it. That's what Kwame is talking about. These rappers.
What I love about Kwame's platform is that he can't get canceled. He can't get fired. He has a hell of an advantage. And I think a lot of people who see that, they're like, man, you know, you can't, it ain't like you can go on ESPN and cut him off or shut his speech down in mid-sentence because he's doing it on his own platform.
Exactly. And
I think it's dope, man.
He's not accepting any invites. Yeah, he's not accepting any invites to come on their shows. If anything, and like I heard brother, somebody was saying, they need to come on his show.
Yeah.
Give him the view. Yeah, come on his show and you know, and talk to him on his terms. You know, so I'm cool with him not accepting any invites. As a matter of fact, when he was first on Instagram doing a live, and Gilbert Arenas was in his live, and they're all the little jackasses in there talking trash. They're like, hey man, Gilbert is trying to send you a request. You should accept the request. Let him talk to him like a man. And I typed in, no, brother, don't accept that. Because I'm sure he has personal information, personal contact with you. He can call you outside. They want to see a blood sport.
Of course.
I'm glad Kwame is above that. Where he's like, no, y'all ain't gonna use me. Get on here, on a live Instagram. We go on back and forth. No, it's not for y'all, punk ass dude. Not telling y'all a bunch of bitches.
That's when I knew that Kwame Brown actually possessed the power, though. Once they started reaching out and saying, "Hey, man, you know, come to our show. Let's talk." I said, yeah, because see, now you'll get the views, you will get the opinions, the thoughts. Kwame Brown said, "Man, no, forget y'all. I'm straight." You know. That's right. And you gonna get this work, and he giving it to him, man. He giving it to him.
He has something to do. See, when you have a message and your message wasn't given to you, It's a script. Like a lot of these black folks on these CNN, MSNBC, The Breakfast Club. What else? Name all these platforms got all these Negroes hosting.
Yeah, Fox News, all of them.
Well, Fox News, yeah, Fox News, yeah, damn right. All of that. The thing is, Kwame has not been given a script, and his script comes from somewhere that they'll never get a chance to get it.
Facts.
You know, it comes from a place that they don't have, or they've sold that out in order to have that job, and so that's what he's addressing.
Let me ask you this:
compromise. Go ahead.
Do you think that because you know I saw that Charlemagne the God when he was accused of when he pled to a lesser charge with the underage girl, correct? Will that come back since Kwame Brown brought it up? Because a lot of people have been going to check out the old videos and hearing the actual commentary from Charlemagne the God's story, how he was, speaking on it. And I wonder, would that come back and bite him in the butt? Like, even though he I guess he's done with the case and he did what he had to do, would they still say, you know what? Nah, he did rape her, because they saying they still rape, at the end of the day. Bro.
Now, what's a 15-year-old doing at your party anyway?
That, bro. Yeah, with Spanish fly, he put Spanish fly in the drink.
Yeah, to a 15-year-old. You should be, if you're gonna be doing it anyway. It's just he's lame altogether. The thing is, if it continues to grow legs and people start protesting outside of that, what's that 97? What's the radio station there in New York with that broadcast the Breakfast Club?
97.9. 105.1. 105.1.
105.1. And it said, hold on real second. It says, Mimi I am says, what about the so-called black media? All right, hold on, let me put it up there.
Okay.
How about the so-called black media? Why haven't any of them put Kwame or Kevin Samuels on? Well, Mimi I am, because they're all owned by the same entity. They're on this. There's really no black media except on YouTube. That's the black media. Because all this TV One and Bounce and Revolt,
Well, and Revolt is it? This Diddy stuff. Revolt, and Diddy ain't gonna do that.
Diddy, come on. They'll have that little lame little whatever panel discussion with Candace Owens and T.I. and all that. That was such a joke.
Yeah,
not organized. It was just cheap, and it was just an unnecessary occurrence. That whole little panel discussion they had. But anyway, I want to continue to support him, and I like that people are actually giving in his chat. They're cash apping. They're doing the super chat.
Yeah.
And what he said was pretty awesome. That he's going to take that money and go buy some shoes for some children.
For the kids. The money he's getting, he's giving it to those kids. Ain't that something?
Yeah, and so because he doesn't need it like that, and so when they hear a message, people will give.
Facts.
And they're giving. They know the man's being there, but they're still giving. So, and I'm saying, why not give to him? Because we seem to give to the people who don't give anything to black folks. These rappers, these damn athletes, these movie stars, they don't give anything of sustenance like this. So, anyway, any questions or more comments, man?
No, man. Okay. I'm just glad I was able to go live and talk with you about the situation. And I think he's going to continue to say what he has to say. But as you stated, he's not going to be around he probably, we're going to stop in a minute. But while he's here, I think the information he's been given, man, he's been turned up, and I love it.
Yeah, and we need more. And see, the thing is, I don't want to say, let me say this. Our community tends to have this thing while it's going on in real time. We get like a deer in the headlights. It's like we can't believe that this being said. Like, oh my God, I can't believe like it's going to impact them financially because someone else is speaking the truth. Like, how do you think revolution comes about unless we all participate?
Right.
But first, we have to ask ourselves, do we really want change? If that's the case, there should be it should be at least 10,000 people demanding that Charlemagne the God be taken out. And let me say this. It's not about taking down the little minions and bought off Negroes from these shows, Cameron Hall, all those included. It's about letting that white boy that controls them, we're coming for you next. But can't get to you because you got these Negro gatekeepers. So we got to knock them out the way to get to you and probably do a drop squad and make them. Now, who is the white boy? that's controlling, running you, so we can go and cancel them.
And that's what Kwame Brown alluded to and said, man, okay, yeah, y'all picking on other black men and trying to talk about the shortcomings of other black men, but who really running y'all? Who's really telling y'all to do this? Who's really giving you the subject matter and everything that you're trying to discuss? T.I.'s new song, he has a new song out, and he's calling it Coattail Part 2. And what he's talking about is the allegations and all that. But a lot of the stuff he's saying in that song kind of resonates with everything else that's been happening. You know, and even though it's not physical, where it's like a Black Panther Party or anything where, you know, we can physically be infiltrated, you can still have actors and bugs going around creating whatever or carrying out whatever agenda is going on. And I'm seeing that. Yes. So Kwame Brown, I think the thing for him that's great is that he does have his own platform. And also, he ain't got to worry about nobody trying to come after him. He know where he is, and he cool where he is. You know, so, no,
and when we hear it, and when we hear him, you know, hear other people talking shit, we let them know, no, y'all can let it go talking about Kwame, bro. And it's anybody else, but tonight I'm talking about Kwame. We said, no, y'all, it's hands off this brother. If we hear you talking side eyes, it's going to be a problem. You know, it says, Mimi I Am says, Roland Martin isn't Dr. Boris Watson isn't owned by white hands. Okay, now Roland Martin wants white hands placed on him.
Check your sound. You sound like it sounds like a bad echo or robot type sound.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Like it's staticking or something. Say something again.
Hello.
There you go.
Okay, maybe I need to get closer to my mic here because
I don't know. Yeah,
my laptop is like a 2005 Honda Accord. You know, I'm gonna have to upgrade everything, but I just had to get it easy, son. Damn.
But it's funny, but no, you could. I was like, you know, I sound like when Riley on Boondock started talking about Christmas and Satanoia, and they just start
start killing the message. You want to go too far? Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it started sounding like that. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, let me get closer here so you can hear me. I want this to come through. And, you know, I'll get the mic. I'll get my mic and all that stuff somewhere around here so it can come through. Because I do plan to go live more.
Yeah. I think it's good that you're doing it because your platform is growing and, you know, you're taking care of business. I think that the subject matter and these topics need to be had. I think that the continuous process of learning and teaching is very necessary. It's very vital. So, like I said, Kwame Brown doing his thing, and I'm gonna keep rocking with him. Whenever he posts a video, I look at it because I'm like, he ain't lied yet, man. You know, he's even because, you know, he first started, he was cussing a lot because he was mad, but he's even saying, hey, look, I'm gonna stop cussing and I'm gonna just talk to y'all, and he actually been doing that. You know, so he coming with it.
He pulled them in. Yeah. Now let's have this conversation. Now after the pandemic or later after the pandemic, well. I guess it had to happen now, but it'd been great had it not happened during the pandemic, where he could have been the hottest lecture tour across the country.
He be getting invited to places right now. Yeah, no doubt.
So not that he would be. And he can command to $25,000 to $50,000 because, you know, and I hope these folks who have organizations where they have access to a lot of black males, a lot of young men. They'll say, man, you come talk to our boys, man. No, pay the man. Pay him like you pay everybody else.
Facts.
Pay him. So don't, you know, because like I said, I mess around and get a bestseller or a hot YouTube channel. I'm charging shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. God damn it. So why I got the info, why it's got to be free to you? Right. Or you preach somebody else. Your preachers don't preach for free. Matter of fact, he talk crazy to you. When the collection plate is light, he try to put God on you, and you ain't gonna get your blessing. So y'all, so everybody's out there, y'all continue to bless, if you will, Kwame Brown, and keep encouraging him. If you see him on the street, dap the brother up. You know, if Kwame comes to Dallas, if you see this brother, come to Dallas after the pandemic. The first round or whatever you drink is on me. I don't think I share my hot wings though. Damn.
Yeah, man. Come on, pushing it.
Anyway, man, I appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you too. I will talk to you soon.
All right, man. Be cool.
You too.
All right, peace.
Peace.
And so thank you, Tino, for chiming in on this. If anybody else would like to come in, I put the link in the chat here. If you like to come in, just give your thoughts. Anybody can come and talk. It's not an all males conversation. So it's in here. If anybody want to come in the last few minutes that I have while I'm on, like to come in and say hi or give your thoughts on the recent Kwame Brown explosion. What do you think about it? Are you for it, against it, or are you encouraged? You think we should be encouraging him to continue? If so, cool. Why not? If not, why not? I like to hear it. So I gave y'all my summation. I think what he's doing is awesome. I think he's dropping a lot of gems a lot of us can use. I think he's basically what he's talking about is a culmination of what scholars have been trying to tell us for decades. And for decades, we've been ignoring this information. And so now he is a former sports figure, who's now becoming even bigger for sports figure, based on him just sharing his thoughts. He's reaching a whole different group of black folks, particularly black men and young black men. That's what I'm excited about. His platform is reaching young black men. And people are having a discussion. People are talking. I'm sure in the barbershops they're talking now all over. And he's going to be part of the dinner conversations in a lot of households. And so, Kwame, I appreciate you. And those of you who tuned into this, again, I have I'll be hitting the streets for my newsletters. And they're just simple front and back. These are my newsletters and my opinion by Rico the Opinionist. You can get a copy of it and see what I'm talking about, what I've been talking about for years. Some of them are older ones, but it's new to you. Send $5 Cash App. Email me. It's all in the description box. Everything you need to know. Check out my description box. It has my Cash App, my PayPal, and information on how you can acquire one of my newsletters, because I'm going to start reading some of them on my YouTube channel. So, y'all, this has been Rico the Opinionist. I am down with Kwame Brown. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And those of you who are down with Kwame Brown, let's all, see what our own mamas have been cooking. And we've been remiss in lifting up the lid to smell what our mamas been cooking. So thank you, Kwame. Thank you, everybody who tries to share your voice and your opinions as it relates to the continued survival of black boys and protection of black men. Peace, y'all. Rico the Opinionist. I am out.